Finding hope in the face of despair. Dear friends, it is a privilege to be with you today as we gather to reflect on the lessons of Genesis chapter 4. This chapter holds an important message for all of us, especially those who may be struggling with feelings of hopelessness and despair. In this chapter, we see the story of Cain and Abel, two brothers whose lives were torn apart by sin and jealousy. When Cain's offering was not accepted by God, instead of turning to God for guidance, he allowed his jealousy to turn into bitterness and resentment, ultimately leading to his committing a terrible act of violence against his brother Abel. But this story is not just about Cain and Abel, it is about us. For we too can struggle with feelings of hopelessness and despair, especially when we are faced with setbacks and failures. And just as Cain was tempted to give in to sin and violence, we too may be tempted to give in to despair and thoughts of suicide. But, my friends, there is hope. For just as God provided a way for Cain to turn from his sin, He also provides a way for us to turn from the darkness of despair and find hope. Through the power of Christ's love and sacrifice, we can find the strength to resist the temptation to give in to despair and instead seek the wisdom and guidance of God. And just as God put a mark on Cain to protect him from harm, we too can have the assurance of God's protection as we work to overcome our struggles and find hope. For God's love and protection is not based on our worthiness or our sacrifices, but on His grace and mercy. So, my friends, I urge you to turn to Genesis chapter 4 for guidance as you work to overcome feelings of hopelessness and despair. Remember, through the power of Christ's love and sacrifice, we can find the strength to resist the darkness of despair and instead seek the wisdom and guidance of God. May God bless you and bring you peace and hope as you resist the temptation of despair and walk in His light.